Hi, this is Pam, librarian at Lake Erie College. This video is called MBA Research Part 1, using search terms and Boolean operators. So when you start your research, it's okay if you only have a vague idea of your topic because the search process, trying out various search terms, different combinations and things, can help you narrow down your topic. And also, if you start out with kind of a narrow topic, the search process may lead you in a different direction. That also happens sometimes. You may not be familiar with the term Boolean operators, so I'll show you what they are and how to use them when researching databases. In this video, we'll be looking at two different databases that are useful for business research in the research guides found on the library's main page, which is where I am now. So in the research guides, I'm clicking on right now, and then business research, many of the databases in the research guides are on the EBSCO host platform. Therefore, you can search several of the databases at one time. And you can also create an EBSCO account to save articles from any of them in one account and make different folders and things. I'll show you more about that in part 2. Right now I'm just starting with one single database, Business Source Complete. Click on that. And it gives me a search box to start from. I can, up above here, I can choose databases, and it gives me a list of all the databases that we have access to that are on the EBSCO platform. So I can search several of them at once. I'm not going to do that right now. I could also start with advanced search if I wanted to see more filters and things from the beginning, but I'm just going to start with one phrase. So researching databases is not the same as finding out facts by Googling them. For example, the question, how high is Mount Everest? You can Google a long phrase like that or a whole question, and it would give you the answer. That's not how these databases work. So we have words, single words, or short phrases. So it gives me a lot of results, and I know I have to narrow this down. This is too broad a topic. So underneath my search box at the top, I'm going to click on advanced search, and then I have the opportunity to type in more terms. So I'm going to do and organizational culture and hit search again. And it narrows it down quite a bit. So these boxes on the right where it says and, you see and, or not. Those are the three main Boolean operators. So they just relate your terms to each other. I may use or if I have two words or phrases that are very similar. Maybe they mean the same thing, they just have two different names. I'm not going to use that one right now, but not. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant to keep that and choose not for this bottom one. Maybe I want to exclude part of my results. For example, maybe I don't want to know about nonprofit. So I want strategic management and organizational culture, but not nonprofit. So every time I make changes like that, I hit the search button again. And if I'm looking for more synonyms for these phrases, I can use the thesaurus at the top here, where it says browsing business thesaurus. I am going to type in organizational culture to see if there are other synonyms for that. So I could use any of these. I could use term begins with, term contains, but I'm going to choose relevancy ranked and click on browse. Gives me a list of synonyms. This top one, corporate culture, that sounds like it would be a very common synonym for organizational culture, and I'm going to add that to my search. So once I click that box and I hit add, now it added or corporate culture to the search terms that I was already using. I hit search again and I have a different list of results. If I go back to advanced search right here, there are other filters and limiters that I may want to use, and I'll look at these a little bit more in part 2. But full text here in the on the left column it's always a good idea because you don't want to just see abstracts or parts of the articles. You want access to the whole thing. And if I'm going to click on that, then I also need to hit search down at the bottom right this time, and it'll update that for me. The help button on the upper right corner will give you explanations of some of these things I've talked about and many more. So it'll give you explanations of Booleans, thesaurus, and things like that. And now I'm going to show you a different database from the business research tab from the research guides, and that is Jstor. Jstor is separate from EBSCOhost, so it looks a little different. I am going to go straight to advanced search on this one. So I'm going to start with strategic management, and this time, my second term, I'm going to do design thinking. And it's always a good idea to click on content I can access because we don't have access to every single article, free access to every single article in Jstor. Submit advanced search. And modify search over here on the right lets me change some of these terms or add more terms. So I want to look at the Boolean operators that are here in Jstor. Besides and or not, we have 3 others, near 5, near 10, near 25. Those numbers, 5, 10, 25, they refer to the distance in words between terms. So maybe these 2 words I'm looking for can be in the same sentence. They don't have to be adjacent to each other. I haven't really used that feature, the near feature, before, but you could always try that here. Search help right next to advanced search gives you explanations of all those features. So using Jstor features, you're searching Boolean operators and searching truncation, wildcards, and proximity. Those 2 sections will explain more about that, how to use the Boolean operators. And the second one, proximity, refers to the near feature, how close the 2 words are that you're looking at. There are multiple ways to get the same or similar results, whether we're talking about this database or business source complete. A lot of different features, so you don't really have to use all of them, or you can use them in different combinations, but that's just an example. So please join me for MBA Research Part 2. Thank you.